it's Sean Price with Price & Price Realtors, and on this video I want to talk about inspections, specifically when it comes to putting an inspection contingency in an offer for a buyer or as a buyer. So you have a couple different options, and first of all, it's important to understand why you would do an inspection. And a home inspection, what the inspector does is he comes through and he looks for visible signs of damage, malfunction in the property, looks at all the functional components of the property just to make sure that you understand what you're buying. Especially here in Virginia, Virginia is a buyer beware state, which means that the seller's disclosure is very, very simple and most items don't have to be disclosed. So it is up to the buyer to ensure that they're buying a good property. Well, when you're in a seller's market, it gets kind of difficult because there's so much competition that a lot of people will waive inspection contingencies. So how can you put an offer in for a property, have it be considered a strong offer, and still protect yourself with an inspection contingency? So there are three different options basically. The first option is what's called informational purposes only. And that's where there is no inspection contingency. All you're doing is getting the inspection so that you have the information about the property that you're purchasing. So this is good. This is a strong offer. It just lets you know what it is that you're purchasing, but it offers you really no protection because with that inspection, you don't have any right to negotiate repairs or void the contract if something big comes up. So this is probably your strongest offer as far as being able to put an inspection in the offer to a seller. It's probably the strongest position, but it's the weakest position for you with regards to protections. Okay, so that's option one, which is informational purposes only. Option two is void only. And what that means is basically the home inspection is either pass or fail. So the inspector comes in, he does the inspection, you get the inspection report, you look over the report, and you can either say, yes, we're good, I want to continue with this transaction, or you have the option to void the property or void the contract. This carries a little bit more weight in it versus the third option, which I'll go over in a second. So this is a little bit of a stronger offer than the third option, but it's weaker than the first one because it does give you an out. So one of the things that you have to do as the buyer is you have to make this inspection happen as quickly as possible so that the seller is not sitting off the market for a while waiting on you to get this inspection result. So in the void only, again, what you do is you will get your inspection report and it's either pass fail. Sometimes a seller may say, you know what's the reason for you voiding the property, and you may end up negotiating a little bit, but that is on special occasion. It does not happen often. You need to go into this type of an offer understanding that it is pass fail. The third option is inspection with the option to void or negotiate repairs. In that option, you get the inspection report, you look it over, you can either say, I want to void, or you can send a list of repairs to the buyer and you start negotiating which repairs they're going to do and which repairs they're not. So this is the weakest option as far as strength for the buyer. And for the seller, you know, they don't really love this option because they know there's probably going to be some negotiation, especially in a situation like this where a lot of buyers they look at an inspection report. If they don't have a strong agent that's kind of leading them down the path, they look at this inspection report as a shopping list. So they'll send over 30, 40 items that they want repaired. And that's not what the inspections are for. The inspections are for big items that need to make sure that you have a functional home when you purchase it. So those are the three options. And in order of strength for the buyer, the inspection for information purposes only is your strongest, but it offers you no protection. Inspection with void only, it gives you protection and it's mid-range as far as the strength of the offer. And then inspection with negotiation for repairs or void only, it's your weakest option from the perspective of a buyer giving an offer, but it does offer protection and the opportunity to negotiate repairs. All right, hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we'll see you on our next video.